Our next story is from Cuba. The Caribbean island nation is in the headlines again. Last year, a report set off alarm bells. The U.S. accused Cuba of hosting a Chinese spy base. Both China and Cuba denied this, of course, so it seems the U.S. went to dig up more proof. Washington has now released its findings. A D.C.-based think tank has come out with a report, and it does not shine a good light on America's security. This report says that Cuba doesn't just have one spy base, it has 4. And these are spread across the island. 3 bases are near Havana, which is Cuba's capital. The 4th is down south near Guantanamo Bay. That's America's little torture center in Cuba. Now, why does the U.S. think that these are spy bases? Because of the equipment there, which was photographed via satellite. Take a look at these shots from the American think tank. They show a number of antennas and satellite dishes. The U.S. says all 4 bases are SIGINT facilities. That stands for Signals Intelligence. Some antennas have been put up in a circular pattern. The report says they are a circularly disposed antenna array, or CDAA. Now, this configuration and the other antennas can be used to intercept communications. They can gather radio signals, decipher the content, and figure out their source, which means the U.S. could have some of its communication channels compromised. The spy bases may find it tough to get military intelligence that's usually encrypted before it is sent out, but other communication might not be, like scientific research getting transferred or data from civilian rocket launches. A spy base could intercept and decipher this data, which could in turn help China with its own development. The think tank report mentions all of this, and this isn't your usual American paranoia. Arrays like this have been used in the past as well, by both the US and the Soviet Union. They did it during the Cold War. It's not some revolutionary new technology. These seem to be old-fashioned spy outposts. And the Americans may be right in thinking that they are the target. After all, who else would China spy on in that part of the world? And the location of these bases is a dead giveaway. What better location for a spy base than a country opposed to the U.S.? Cuba has been a victim of American heavy-handedness for decades. The U.S., in fact, embargoed Cuba since 1960. It has tried to change the nation's regime a number of times, with multiple assassination attempts on their former leader Fidel Castro. So why wouldn't Cuba want to get back at the U.S.? Why wouldn't they help Beijing? Especially if China promised to invest in Cuba while building up the spy capabilities. Chinese firms like Huawei and ZTE are setting up communications infrastructure in Cuba, so what's stopping them from setting up something extra? Washington needs to reflect, to think about how it got here, because there's not much else it can do right now. China will keep denying the existence of its spy bases. It did so yesterday as well.
China and Cuba are good friends, comrades, and brothers, and the relationship between the 2 countries is a model of sincere mutual support for developing countries. The cooperation between China and Cuba is upright and above board. It does not target third parties and will never accept or allow third parties' malicious slander or smear.
She said the China-Cuba relationship is upright and above board. But when it comes to China, upright and above board is very rare, although they keep saying things like that, and there's little that Washington can do about it. But they won't accept it. A U.S. spokesperson recently said, and I'm quoting, "We know that the People's Republic of China is going to keep trying to enhance its presence in Cuba, and the United States is going to keep working to disrupt it." It's an optimistic outlook. Let's see if the U.S. can follow through.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear policy. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Eric Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital